Trabzon, one of the most densely populated cities in Turkey's Black Sea region, has become the latest victim of increasingly erratic climate patterns, as a devastating downpour of 63 kilograms per square metre in just 1 hour turned the city centre into a disaster zone, leaving behind widespread destruction. At the peak of the intense rainfall, the state coastal road passing through the Toklu neighborhood was completely submerged under floodwaters. Traffic came to an abrupt halt as vehicles were engulfed by water within seconds, leaving many drivers trapped. The city's inadequate natural drainage system failed to prevent the overflow, causing some cars to become nearly invisible under the murky floodwater. Streets and avenues throughout the city resembled lakes, and businesses, especially those operating on basement and ground levels, suffered severe damage. Many shop owners attempted to evacuate their flooded stores using their own means. Blocked drainage grates in main arteries caused rainwater to accumulate rapidly, resulting in serious ground-level damage in public buildings and small businesses. In response to the overwhelming number of emergency calls, Trabzon's Water and Sewerage Administration, TİSKİ, Highways Directorate and Fire Department teams were dispatched to dozens of locations to drain water and unblock the sewage grates. Throughout the day, crews worked tirelessly to clear major roadways. The coastal road, which had turned into a shallow lake, was eventually reopened to traffic thanks to the efforts of municipal teams. Traffic police established control points on key roads to prevent accidents and ensure safety. The situation in the city's higher elevations was even more complex. In hilly neighborhoods, softened soil due to heavy rainfall triggered minor landslides and rockfalls. Roads leading to and from these areas collapsed, and several agricultural fields suffered significant damage. Large rocks dislodged from the slopes tumbled down into the yards of some homes, posing a serious risk to residents. Emergency response units, coordinated by the Trabzon Governor's Office, handled more than 83 separate flood-related incidents. Their immediate priorities included clearing blocked roads, inspecting flood-damaged buildings, and evacuating residents from high-risk areas. A coordinated emergency response plan, jointly executed by TİSKİ, AFAD, Municipal Fire Services, and the Highways Directorate, helped gradually restore order to city life. However, the scars left by the disaster were far from easy to erase. Tragically, the disaster was not limited to property damage. In one of the neighborhoods near the city centre, the body of a citizen who had been swept away by floodwaters was recovered by underwater search and rescue teams from the fire department. Meanwhile, another person remained missing. Search efforts resumed at daybreak, with crews scouring riverbeds, collapsed zones, and drainage channels in hopes of locating the missing individual. Volunteer teams joined the operation, but no results had been reported as of yet.
Evet arkadaşlar, şu anda Akyazı'dayız. Yol kapalı, görüyorsunuz.
Among the hardest hit districts was Ortahisar. Due to pre-scheduled maintenance works, power outages were announced in neighborhoods like Sanayi, Kalkınma and Maçka between 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. A brief additional outage was scheduled between 1 p.m. and 1:15 p.m. on the same day. In Maçka district, energy supply was suspended from 8:30 to 10:30 in over 30 neighborhoods. Authorities stated that these interruptions were necessary to inspect and repair damage to the energy infrastructure caused by the flooding. Yet, The Trabzon governor's office urged residents to avoid flood-prone areas, especially near electrical infrastructure. AFAD reported that certain buildings located in high-risk zones were temporarily evacuated and that residents were provided with temporary shelter. Furthermore, due to floodwaters leaking into the sewage system, water contamination was reported in some neighborhoods, prompting advisories regarding limited usage during specified hours. Following the disaster, Efkan Aytekin, regional representative of the Chamber of Environmental Engineers in Trabzon, emphasized that this event was not merely a natural occurrence, but also a consequence of poor environmental governance, unregulated urbanization, and inadequate climate change policies. According to Aytekin, allowing construction along riverbeds in the Black Sea region severely impairs flood management and places entire communities at risk. He highlighted the inadequacy of stormwater drainage systems and criticized the shared discharge channels for sewage and rainwater. Aytekin called for a complete redesign of infrastructure with climate change in mind. Experts agreed that increasing urbanization and impermeable surfaces have made it harder for soil to absorb water, urging the implementation of nature-based solutions, expansion of green spaces, and use of permeable surfaces to reduce future flood risks.
Arkadaşlar burası Beşirli Aygor Deresi, Gürbulak, Akyazı, Yeşilova.
We extend our sincere sympathies to the people of Trabzon. We hope those affected can return to normalcy as soon as possible. For accurate updates on natural disasters around the world, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and enable notifications. Your support means everything to us.